Okay. Okay. So I think it is a good time to start now. Okay. So sorry for the delay because of this live needs to be started at the time of 3:30, but we have some technical issues, so that's why the live can't be on that time. Now we back to the live once again after a week. After a few days, we back to the live right now. I hope you people know what I'm going to take in this live. Okay, we can get to the session without any talking or else without any wasting the time. So we will go to the live. Okay, good. So what is this live about? As you people know, you have seen the thumbnail, which is about the AWS Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services. So what is this Amazon Web Services? And in this video, in this live, I'm going to upload my Node.js server on this AWS. So before upload or before deploying my Node.js server on this AWS Amazon Web Services, I'm going to talk about some technologies or else some of the tech related things what are present in this AWS and how you can configure your AWS according to the server. Okay. So in my condition, I'm using a server called Node.js. So I'm going to upload or I'm going to deploy my Node.js server in this AWS platform. Okay. There are plenty of other cloud services platform present in the market right now. I think you people know, like for example, Google Cloud Service, Google Cloud Platform. Sorry, Google Cloud Platform, which is shortly called as GCP, Google Cloud Computing Services, GCP. So, in other hand, we have this competitor for these AWS Google Cloud platforms. Okay, good. So we have a competitor called Google Cloud Platform, and next another competitor we have for AWS is, and for the Google is Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure. Good. Okay. So these are the leading cloud platforms in the market. Apart from these cloud platforms, we have other cloud platforms. We can have a look at we can have a look at the Stack Overflow 2024 survey. 2024, sorry, 2020, not 2024 survey. 2024 survey. So 2024 Stack Overflow Developer Survey. Okay. So what is this? Why I'm going to show you this survey? So I'm going to show you the survey for cloud platforms so that you can have a better glance if you are going to be if you are going to use your next cloud application or also you are going to deploy your next cloud application. You can choose this platform according to your need. But right now we can see here I'm in the cloud platforms right now. So I'm in the cloud platforms. So in these cloud platforms, AWS share of usage amongst respondents is the same in the 2024 as in the same 2023. Okay, good. So what they're trying to say is that here you can see by visualizing these graphs, you can see the most used Amazon Web Services. Mostly Amazon Web Services are used in the cloud platforms, which means nowadays most of the tech companies are referring AWS for their cloud infrastructure. cloud infrastructure. Okay, so you can see almost out of 100 percentage, 48 percentage of cloud infrastructure or 48 percentage of cloud market is given by AWS to the companies. After that, we have Microsoft Azure and we have GCP, which is Global Cloud Platform. After that, we have Cloudflare and Firebase. Firebase is one of them among this Google Cloud. Okay, we have Amazon Web Services. So Amazon Web Services has the same range of 48 percentage since in the 2023 and also in the 2024, which is doesn't decreased. It didn't decreased, or else neither it doesn't increased. It is the same percentage of 48 percentage from the 2023 till now in the 2024. And Microsoft Azure, we have 27.8 percentage of cloud markets, and we have GCP 25. So among half a cloud market is taken over by AWS. So I think it is a good time to learn about some cloud infrastructure. If you are going to start studying about the cloud infrastructures, you can take this AWS as a source, because of you can see 48 percentage of cloud market is taken out by the AWS itself, because of their services, their infrastructure, their server balancing, on all other things. So I will show you that what are the things AWS have in their pocket. I will show you the things or what they have. So this is just a simple image thing the AWS provided. AWS is providing. So here you can see they have these things in the cloud. For example, they have compute, containers, storage, database, analytics, blockchain, IoT, multimedia, security, front-end web content delivery, machine learning, networking. So they have different sectors, different departments, and each and every department have their own services. For example, let us take it compute. This compute department have their own services like app runner, auto scaling, light sail, lambda, outpost, local zone, EC2. They have a lot of other instances, other instances, other instances in other departments too. Like for example, in the containers, they have EC2, I think so. Sorry, ECS. I wrongly ECS. So Fargate, Copilot, and they have EKS, ERC, and the storage they have S3 Glacier backup, and the file cache, EBS, EFS. So they have a lot of tech stacks in these departments. You can see in machine learning there are a lot of technologies or services. They can be called as a services. For the machine learning itself, they have a lot of services. For the analytics, they have services. Database, they have services. So these services are provided by the AWS. That's why most of the tech companies are preferring AWS for their applications, because of they are flexible with the payment and flexible with the load balancing on other things. We will see what are the load balancing and all the things in the right now in this live session. So I hope you people have understand what they have. Let me show you what are the things you can see. For the IoT, they have IoT Core, IoT Green Gas, IoT Fleetwise, IoT Analytics, IoT Device Defender, IoT Events, and a lot more, plenty of things. So these departments can be used on IT companies for different purposes. For not only the IT companies, the non-IT platforms can also use these services from the Amazon. From the Amazon Web Services. So why they need to go for this AWS? Because of we have seen these things. For example, we have other cloud platforms, like for example we have cloud services like Google, and we have Azure, and we have a lot of other cloud platforms like Cloudflare, Firebase, Version, DigitalOcean, Heroku, Netflix, and here we have a lot of cloud platforms. But why companies are preferring this AWS? because of this vast number of services they have in their infrastructure. You can see they have a lot of infrastructure and a lot of tech things in their hand. And this is the first thing. Second thing, they have flexible payment compared to other technologies. Because of I have for the past week I have gone through the cost reliability of these cloud platforms for my Node.js application, because of since I'm developing an e-commerce application by using Flutter for front end and for the Node.js as the backend server. So I have gone through a lot of hosting and deploying platforms. So after a week, I came to the conclusion. I think I hope AWS will be a good choice for me because of their infrastructure and the cost wise. Because of I have gone through this Google Cloud. There also have the cost, and Azure also have the cost for the deployment of any of the application onto the server, virtual servers. So you can see in the cloud platforms like Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure, they have a variance of $1 and some cents or some bucks. I think so. I don't know the dollar instance because of since I'm an Indian, I can say it in the rupees. But it is hard to tell me in the dollars. I think the dollar difference between the Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and the AWS is just a little bit of $1 something, something amount decimal points, like 1 point something dollars. So which means, like an instance, like a real-time example, the dollar that cost for you to deploy a Node.js server for a monthly charges is about almost 7 point something dollars, $7.63, I think so. For example, for this Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure, I think they both have 8 point something dollars. But the cost for the AWS is less than comparing to this Google Cloud services and Microsoft Azure of 1 point something dollar, which means 7 point something $7.63 is taken down by AWS, and for the Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure, they have the monthly charges for cloud Node.js applications is almost 8 point something dollars. It looks like a single dollar of price, but if you are running a if you are running your server backend application in a cloud platform, they have their running instance. We can call it as an instance, which means the server will continuously run on their cloud. So even though if it is a monthly dollar of something like a single digit, if your Node.js server or else any other server continue to run on this on their cloud platform, it will take a vast number of digits. So it is a very much important for the company to take care of these instances, take care of their backend service deployment. So that's why I preferred AWS for my server, my Node.js application, because of the cost is very much reduced. And the second thing, they provide a vast number of documentations. You can see they have a lot of documentation in their hand. They are also providing documentations for us. So I have their documentation downloaded. I think so. Let me show you something. For example, that they have here. I think I have stored in some of the symbols. But they have a lot of documentations. They are providing a vast number of documentation in their hand. Okay. So if you go for the AWS documentations, you can see a lot of vast number of documentation they have providing. You can download the documentation in the PDF formats too. They are providing all the documents in the PDF format, which will be more efficient and will be more helpful for you people to understand what are the instances they are providing, what are technologies they are providing. So in the meantime, in the free while, you can check for these documentations. Before that, if you are new to my channel, subscribe and press the bell button to get notified on each upcoming videos. So they have a lot of services and their documents according to them. You can download this document. So which means comparing to other other cloud platforms like Google and Microsoft Azure, AWS is providing a better documentation. Initially, the documentation will be a little bit difficult for people to understand. I think because of for me to it takes a lot of understanding. I have gone through a lot of difficulties while doing this server deployment. So initially, it will be a little bit difficult for you people to understand documentations. But if you make some time, if you make some hard time, you can easily understand these AWS deployments. Okay. So we have seen the competing cloud platforms to the AWS, which are like Google Cloud Platform and Microsoft Azure and all other technologies we have seen in the Stack Overflow survey of 2024. Um, Next, we can move to the how we are going to upload our server into the Node.js. Sorry, how we are going to upload our Node.js server onto the AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay. Before we need to have some hard understanding about how a server works, how they are developing a server, and how these servers are working. The first thing we need to understand one thing is that server is nothing but a backend services for a front-end application where they run continuously so that the users can get their data on time in the front-end side. Okay, so I have my Node.js server in my Visual Studio Code. Let me show you that right now how it looks. Okay, so I have this Node.js server. This is the Node.js server I'm going to upload. The name is like Harvest hyphen server. So this is the server I'm going to upload into my AWS. This server will work and how we are going to upload the server onto the AWS. First of all, we can take an example like for example, I'm going to develop a backend service in my laptop. For the basic requirement, I need to have a laptop, which is a computing device, I need to have a laptop, which is a computing device. This computing device or else this computing machine have a processing unit which will process the data, and it has some RAM to store some temporary memory instances. So and have some room to store which act as a storage. So this is the basic requirement for my server, which is act as a server for my, which is the act as a server for my Node.js application. So next thing, I need to install some environments for the development of Node.js server. The environments like for example, the basic environment looks like So how these servers work? We need a physical device. Like a physical device is nothing but a machine. For example, for my Node.js server, which is running on locally, I have my own computer. This computer have the com- uh, this computer have the processing unit which is helpful for to compute my Node.js server. For example, it has some processing unit called as processing unit, which is like Intel chip or something AMD chip to run or computing unit, and it has some RAM, so which runs my Node.js server locally. Likewise, uh, and then other thing. This is on the device, which is a machine. We'll call it as a machine. So I need a physical machine like a laptop. Like for example, a laptop. In my condition, I have my laptop which is have a processing unit like Intel or say AMD chipset. Next, I have environment, environment, environment. In this environment, called as some packages to start my development, Node.js development. Like for example, I need to install Node.js on the online. This is an environment, and before that, I need an operating system for my machine. For a physical machine, I need an operating system OS, which can be example. It can be Linux or else Windows, or else it can be a Mac, any other operating system, any other operating system. Okay, good. This is an environment for this physical machine to run an Node.js application. Next, the server needs to run on a continuous manner. So this is a basic need for my Node.js application in a physical machine. A physical machine is needed, and it should have a processing unit. Secondly, I need an environment to run my Node.js application on this operating on this physical machine, which is called as operating system. It can be a Linux, Windows, or else Mac, any other thing. So this is a thing that is provided by this AWS. Since this Node.js application is running on my machine in a local platform, which can be accessed in my machine. Apart from this, I can't access whether it is when it is running in a local platform. So to make it is a global platform, I need to host this Node.js application on a real physical device. I need a physical device, like for example, I need a processing unit, and for example, I need to buy a processor, and I need to have a motherboard to connect the processor, and I need to have a RAM, and I need to install some operating system on this. It can be Linux, Windows, or anything else. And I need to provide a network connectivity, network facility to run this server. To run this server, I need to provide a physical network connectivity, which comes like for example IP address. I need to provide an IP configuration. I need to provide an IP configuration. So these are on the physical device. So which means uh, I need to buy a server. I need to first, if I want to create a server, I need to make a physical machine with a processing unit, and I need to install some operating system on that, and I need to provide an IP configuration, which is something network related things. And that I need to provide a power supply for that, and that server needs to run continuously for 24 into 7, which will cost me for the electricity charges, and for the network charges, and all other services on a physical machine. But this entire thing will be provided by this AWS virtually. Okay, so all these things will be provided on the AWS virtually. So in different instances, different technologies. You can see in this compute, which is nothing but to provide a physical machine, to provide a to provide a computing machine. They have these technologies like app runner, auto scaling, light sail, lambda, outpost, local zone, and EC2 for to provide a machine, physical machine into a virtual machine. Next we have environment, and next we have network networking. These things will be provided by the AWS in different tech stack. Let me show you what are these tech stacks. The first thing we can see is VPC, VPC, which is called as Virtual Private Cloud. Virtual Private Cloud to provide a cloud infrastructure for my Node.js application, Node.js server, or else in my or else you can take it as to provide an IP configuration in my condition. For the networking side, we are going to use this VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, where this Virtual Private Cloud handles conditions like, for example, when you deploy an EC2 instance, which is a computing thing. This VPC helps to deploy this EC2 instance in their cloud infrastructure by providing an IP address or also IP configuration. Let me write this in a full manner. It needs to be part of a virtual network on cloud. Next thing, this virtual network So, so I can create an EC2 instance, EC2 instance, and terminate when it is not required. When you can terminate when it not required. Okay. So back to the voice itself. Okay. So EC2 is nothing but an computing instance in AWS Amazon Web Services, which will create and computing physical machines. For we have seen this VPC, virtual private cloud. So this virtual private cloud provides us a subnets or else IP addresses, which is like, for example, to provide an IP configuration for our physical machine in virtually in AWS, virtually in AWS. So which means first we are going to create an EC2 instance. This EC2 is a computing capacity provided on AWS services, Amazon Web Services, and takes care of underlying physical infrastructure. Which means, for example, I need to buy a physical device like a processor and RAM. All these things can be handled with this EC2 itself. So I need to invest on this. You can create an EC2 instance whenever you want, and you can terminate whenever you want. You don't need it. Whenever you need it, we can terminate that instance. Okay. So this computing device will run on this VPC virtual private cloud. See here, when you deploy EC2 instance, which means you can deploy this EC2 instance in this VPC virtual private cloud. It will be a part of the cloud, and it will have a configuration like IP address or a subnet in VPC. This is totally isolated network on AWS. So it is totally isolated from that. And each and every VPC have, or else it will be isolated from one another. So for example, if we have the EC2 instance for one server application, that VPC will be isolated from other VPC servers. Okay. So it has CADR block configured. So which means, so first we are going to create a virtual machine with this EC2, which will be have some processing, or else it will be have some environment like operating systems, other things. And this EC2 will be integrated with this. EC2 will be integrated with this VPC virtual private cloud and will be provided a network configuration of IP address of subnets. Okay, so we have done some thoughts. Next, we are going to the important thing called Beanstalk. Beanstalk. Okay, sorry, Beanstalk. I have Beanstalk. Beanstalk. Okay. So what is this Beanstalk? You can use this service to quickly deploy your server. To quickly deploy your applications, like for example, deploy your applications. In my condition, it is a Node.js server without any infrastructure, like as I have said earlier, without any infrastructure. Next thing, this service will create environment for us, environment for application you are creating. For example, here you can see, so we need to create an environment. So for the machine, we are using EC2 in Amazon side. So we are using here Beanstalk. Sorry, Beanstalk to create environment. To provide a network IP, we are using VPC. So these are relevant for AWS things we are using in a physical manner, which is these are things are virtual. Okay, good. Very good to go. Next thing. So after creating this environment, you can upload application in this environment. You can upload applications in this environment. So So what are the application you have? It supports applications like, for example, applications like Go, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, and lastly we have Ruby and Ruby. So these are the applications you can upload, or else much more other applications too you can apply, you can deploy on this environment called Beanstalk. Next thing, so we need to create an EC2 instance for these applications in, or else for this environment. That can be used for hosting the environments. So with this Beanstalk we can monitor health of our application, and we can balance load balancing and scaling all the things. So these things can be handled with this Beanstalk. So now you have some more understanding about this. What is this Beanstalk, and what is this EC2 instance, and what is this VPC, virtual private cloud. So virtual private cloud, and we have this physical machine by using this EC2 instance and creating a virtual private cloud. So we have all these things in our hand. So these things should be handled by a user. In Amazon, we have IAM, which is called as Identity and Access Management. Identity and access, sorry, access management. Identity and access management. So which will be helpful for us to give access to this EC2, Beanstalk and VPC on our AWS. So to provide, this is a web service that allows you to securely control or allow resources. Control resources. Good to go. So we need to assign a EC2 instance, VPC, and Beanstalk in our AWS. So now I hope you people have some understanding about what is EC2 and what is a VPC, virtual private cloud, and what is a Beanstalk. So EC2 is to configure a computing device in a in a virtual manner in AWS, which can be scalable. So which has a huge advantages, which means you don't need to invest on hardware related things. All these things will be handled by the AWS itself. Next, whenever you want, you can start this instance, or else you can terminate anytime. Next, to provide some network configuration for this EC2, we are go for the VPC, which is a virtual private cloud. So virtual private clouds provide an IP addresses for our EC2 instance to run on an isolated network on AWS. So it provides an isolated network on AWS. So each and every server instance will be on different isolated networks. So it will not be same. Next, to provide an environment for our application, we are using Beanstalk. This Beanstalk will handle all the environmental related things for our Node.js application or else any other resources, any application. For example, you can create with the Go, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, and Ruby on Rails. So these things, these applications can be handled by with this Beanstalk and will be hosted on the EC2 instance. To provide access to all these three things like VPC, EC2, and Beanstalk, IAM, which is identity and access management in AWS will provide access to all these resources like Beanstalk, EC2, and which will provide them. You can take a simple glance. What are these things for the physical machine? We are using a virtual machine in AWS called as EC2 instance to create an instance machine. To create an environment like OS, Linux, or else Windows, Mac, or Node.js environment, we are using Beanstalk in AWS. To provide a network or else IP configuration, we are using VPC in AWS. To give access to all these three things, we are using IAM, which is an identity and access management in AWS. So let's get started into the cloud. Now, so I'm going to deploy my Node.js application onto the cloud on AWS Amazon Web Services. So first I need to sign into the AWS, so sign into the console. So before signing into the console, you need to register for this AWS Amazon Web Services, which will cost you around some amount of dollar, like $2 or something. It will cost you around $2 or something. For me, they have taken ₹2, but in the website they have mentioned $2. But they have taken ₹2 for the registration into the AWS. After successful registration, they will ask for some terms and conditions, which means if your server runs continuously after a free tier, they will cost you for the server instances, which will not be given any other prior notification about the debiting of money from your debit card. So you need to aware of these things before getting charged. You need to terminate your instance after the free before the free tier ending. Okay, good. So now I have registered with my debit card of almost ₹2 on this AWS, and I'm going to get started to deploy my Node.js. Okay, I'm going to open my AWS, or else you can simply search, or else you can press the services button here, or else you can search for services here in the search box. So you can see they are providing these services. For example, they have analytics, application integration for the blockchain business application. So these are things we have seen in the image format here. I have this. I have taken from the Instagram page. I think he at Dan_Nani. The credits goes to this person on Instagram. You can check for some technology related things in this guys in this guy or else in this person's Instagram account. Good. So original credits go to this person. Next. So they have providing blockchain, business and applications, cloud financial management, compute. Here we have EC2 and containerization, customer enablement, database, developer tools, and a lot more of things. These are services provided by AWS right now in the 2024. Okay. So now we can start our thing. First, I need to search for Beanstalk. So here you can see Elastic Beanstalk. So click on this Elastic Beanstalk. It will navigate to this page. They will provide some documentation. You can get some documentation here. You can read this documentation and go for the documentation, check out what you can do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create an application here. So click on this create application. Good, I have clicked on this create application. Next. So you can see new accounts only support launched in place. Starting in October 1, Amazon EC2 out of scale will no longer support. The creation of launch configuration for new account, existing environment will not be impacted. Okay, good. So good information. I think the auto scaling will be disabled from the October 1. October 1, which means we have surpassed that. Okay, good. Close this. Okay, next. So here we are going to create a web server environment. web server environment. So leave it as it is. Next, you need to provide an application name here. Before getting started into this, we have almost 5 steps to be completed to get to the last step of reviewing. Here you can see. So we have step one to configure the environment in the Beanstalk, which means here you can see. So in the Beanstalk itself, we have seen what are the things will come under. You can use this service to quickly deploy. The service will get an environment for our application. You can choose what are the environment applications like Node.js, these things. This thing will be asked in this configure environment in the step one. Next, we need to give access to the services, configure the service access. Next, optional things like setup networking and database stacks, configure instance traffic and scaling, configure updates, monitoring and logging, and lastly, we have a review. After the review, our application will be on the other cloud in AWS. Now, environment tier, web server tier, leave it is and provide an application name. So maximum of length of 100 characters. I'm going to provide info harvest hyphen server. So info harvest hyphen server. This is the name I'm going to provide. So whenever you type the application name info harvest hyphen server, info harvest hyphen server. So this is my application name I'm giving here. The environment information they have given automatically after you're providing this application name. Info harvest hyphen server hyphen env. So leave as it is. You don't need to change this. If you want to configure this thing, you can leave the value, leave blank for auto generated value, or else you can provide whatever the value you can. So for me, I can check for this info harvest hyphen server as my domain name itself, info harvest hyphen server dot ap hyphen south hyphen one dot elasticbean.com. This is the availability. I think I need to check the availability for this. I hope this availability view over there. Yes, available. Info harvest hyphen server. Good. You can provide some description for your environment, or else you can leave as it is donated. Okay, next. Manage platform they are asking. Choose a platform. For example, for me it is Node.js. So I have choose the Node.js. All other things like here you can see I am choosing platform branches Node.js.com 20 running on 64-bit Amazon Linux. So which is nothing but I am choosing my Linux server. Linux is my server. So leave it as it is. Don't need to change thing. And their platform version is also recommended to 6.3.0. Leave as it is. Don't need to change. Next, they are asked to upload your code, which means you need to upload your Node.js server code. So you can upload your sample, or else you can upload your code here. First, we need to provide a version label. I'm going to provide a version -01. Version -01. This should be unique. So I have provided my version code version -0.1. Sorry, 01. Or you can provide 0.1 any other thing. And you can provide a source code of a maximum size of 500 MB in a local file. Also, you can provide your public S3 URL. Public S3 URL. For example, to provide a public S3 URL, I'm going to open another instance. AWS You can upload your code onto the S3. Amazon S3, which is also other technologies to show some data like Google Drive or else anything, but it has some better configurations. What is this thing? So just close this, turn your ideas into they are providing some. Okay. So in the services, I'm going to search for S3. Here you can see S3. Or else you can go for here S3 bucket right here. Simply click on this S3. You can upload your code in the S3. So I have uploaded a Ponta bucket like thing, something like this. You can create a bucket, or else inside this bucket you can configure something, or else you can upload something inside this bucket. You can see. You can upload your code here and get the URL, and you can upload the URL, or simply you can upload your local file. This local file you can convert this into a zip file. For example, I have my project right now in my this GitHub info harvest hyphen server. Here I have this. So I need to convert this into an zip file. After completing, after uploading a zip file, or else after converting it to zip file, I need to upload this zip file into this a local file, or else you can upload this. For example, let us try to first upload in this bucket. You can try out this thing. If you're going to upload, you can select this upload button and you can check for something like, for example, what is the folder name, add folder, or whatever may be. And after that, you can upload this and you can get this destination link and you can upload over there. It is a better way to do this too. It is a better way to do this, but just right now I'm going to convert this into a zip file. So I'm going to right click this uh, compress zip file. So this is getting compressed. I think it will take some time to compress. After compressing this folder, you can choose file and upload your zip file over inside this thing. You can see in the preset, you can simply in this configuration, don't forget to select the single instance, free tier eligible, or else you will be get paid for whatever the things you are using. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and get notified about all the upcoming videos. Okay, almost 30 seconds left. I think it will be wrapped in a few minutes. Good, good. So almost 30 seconds is left. Okay, so I got this zip file, almost 19 MB. Thus I'm going to cut from this and I'm going to make it on this documents. Okay, good. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select my local file, choose file. Next, I'm going to documentations and I'm going to select this info hyphen harvest server. Open good. Yes, now we are completed with this. Next, don't forget to select this single instance and then next, press on next button. Okay, good. We are on the second step, which is nothing but configuring service access. Here, we need to provide some access, which means we need to provide some instance profile and also EC2 pair key. You can create a new role or use an existing service pair. So whatever may be, it's up to you. So create and use new service role. So I think it is assigning a service role if I go for the new, or else if I using an existing service role, I don't need to use this. Just I need to create a new pair of keys. So service role, enter the name for IAM role that LSD Beanstack will create as same as service role. Beanstack will attach the management policies to it. Okay, good. This is creating a new role. Next is an existing service role. Okay. Right now, I think I don't have any key pair role. So first, I need to create a new role. To create a new service role, or else to create an EC2 key pair, I'm going for AWS Amazon.com. Okay. So I'm going to search for EC2, EC2. Next, in this EC2, we will you can see something like, for example, key pairs here. Key pairs. Click on these key pairs. Click on this key pair and create a key pair. Here you can provide a key. For example, the name include up to what's the string saying? So the name can include up to 256 characters. It can include leading or trailing spaces. It can't include leading or trailing spaces, which means we can't provide some spaces right here. Okay, understandable. Good. So what I'm going to provide a key pair, like for example, info harvest hyphen key. What they are saying, it can't include leading or trailing spaces. Info harvest hyphen key. I think so. Yes, good. So info harvest hyphen key. Next RSA as default and select .pem, and you can create a new RSA, and then you can create a key pair. So after providing a name info harvest hyphen key without any leading or trailing spaces, select this RSA and create a key format like .pem. It will be default in the .ppk. You can select for the .pem and you can click on this create key pair. I think this is the right thing. Okay, good. Okay, let me remove this key. Info harvest key rsc.com. Create a key pair. Click on. I think this is good. Create key pair. Okay, key pair is created. Yes, good. .pem file will be downloaded. You can show this file for afterwards. Good. Next, create and use a new role. Reload this instance. You need to see this keeper, I think so. Okay, create keeper. Successfully created. Good. Okay, good. Here you need to see this keeper. Why I didn't show? Why it doesn't show? It should show my keeper, I think so. No options. EC2 instance, select an EC2 pair key to securely log into OCT. Okay. So I have created an RSA type key pair right here. So I have this key pair right here. Mm, so what is the error I'm getting? I don't know. So we have fingerprint and we have info like these things. So it needs to show. Choose the keypad. No options. It doesn't show any options. Why it doesn't show any options? We go for the EC2 and check for the instructions whether they have the keypads created. Yes, the keypad is successfully created. Problem. Then what is the problem here we have? I don't know. After this sign, when I load this auto sufficient. Okay. Mm, let me check. Load this thing. So once again, I start from the first thing. So I need to start from the first. Why it doesn't loaded? Okay. So from start info horrors hyphen server and here also info horrors hyphen search. You can check for the availability as it is available. Choose the platform Node.js. Leave it as it is. Upload your code and the version is 0101. And I'm going to select the local file and I'm going to choose the upload button. And in the documents, I have this file and I'm going to upload this file. Good to go. Single instance and container. Why these things taking so long to do? Why it doesn't show the keypad? EC2 keypad to securely log into your EC2 instance. So I have created a keypad. I have provided a name and I have successfully created a keypad. And why this keypad is not showing over there? Okay, let me check for this afterwards. EC2 instance profile. So for this, I need to once again go for the IME. So which means I need to search for IAM. So we have here IAM. So in this IAM, what I need to do? I think some of the documents they have moved to there. So in these user groups, I think there is no group. I need to create a group. Here I need to create a group. Okay, of the roles. Create role. So in this create role, select trusted entity, AWS service. Here EC2 as instance service, and click on next. Here we need to add permissions, like for example, first I'm going to search for, sorry, Beanstalk. So here I need to give a Beanstalk services, for example. I need to go for Elastic Beanstalk administrate access role. So I need to check on this thing. Let me check for this administrator Elastic Beanstalk. What is his full name? I can't get this full name. Administrator access Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, first thing we have selected. Next, administrator Elastic Beanstalk custom platform EC2 role. Select on these two. So we have selected two things: administrator access Elastic Beanstalk, Elastic AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and second thing we need to select for the AWS Elastic Beanstalk custom platform EC2. And third thing we need to search for containerization. So here we have AWS Elastic Beanstalk multi-container Docker, and we need to select for AWS Elastic Beanstalk web tier and the worker tier. So almost we need to select administrator access Elastic Beanstalk AWS custom EC2 role. Almost five roles we have selected here. Administrator access AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Good. So almost after selecting this five role, we can proceed to the next thing. Click on this next. You can provide a role name, and you can provide a instance. For example, I'm going to provide an info harvest hyphen server hyphen role as a name. Next, I'm going to leave the description as it is, and you can add a tag. It is an option, and you can create a new role over here. Lastly, you can press and click create role. Okay. Uh, so the new role is created. Next, inside this I need to reload this button. Yeah, the role is came, but I don't know why the key is not came, but the role is came over here, but the key is not came over here. So I need to once again check for this key in the EC2 hub, EC2 keypads. Here it is showing we have created a new key pair, but the key pair is doesn't show over here. Why it is not showing over there? So info harvest, I think info harvest key, info harvest key, info harvest key. There is nothing like this key. Why it doesn't showing? I don't know why it doesn't showing. Keeper EC2 keeper. Once again, I check for the EC2. I can go for the EC2 dashboard. In this dashboard, I have created a key pair. Good, but why this key pair is not info harvest key? So what is the problem with this key pair? I don't know correctly. But this key pair looks like ran into some problem. I think so. I don't know what is the problem with this key pair. Let me check for this key pair. Because of I have created a key pair, but this key pair is doesn't showing on this EC2 instance. Why it doesn't showing? It needs to show the key pair. Here you can see it easily shows the server role, which is we have created recently, but this EC2 instance is not showing. Let me check for this in detail. What is this EC2 is doing? So we have here when you create a key pair, Amazon EC stores a copy of your public key. If you no longer need to use it to connect to any environment instances, you can delete it from the Amazon EC2. So what is this problem with this key pair? So you can create from the first itself how to delete a key pair. So key pair consists of public key and private key is a set of security keys that you use to prove your identity when you are into the instance. For Linux instance, the private key allows you to securely access into the instance. You can delete key pair which removes the public key that stores in the machine. Deleting a key pair does not delete the matching private key. When you delete public key using the following methods, you only delete the public key that you have stored in when you created or imported the key. Deleting the public key doesn't remove the public key from the instance. Actions and delete. Actions and import key pair. So what is this? Then the name can be included. Choose browser or navigate to a public key. You may change the name of a key. Alternatively, paste the copy paste the contents. Okay. Why it doesn't show in more options? Okay, so we'll check afterwards. Proceed to the next. This is APC, and you can select all these things and scroll down a little bit. Don't need to change anything right here. Just select these all the zones we have given. So, or else you can create a VPC in your AWS. You can check for these roles in AWS. I'll show you what are things in this AWS will have. For example, I will show you what is VPC. Visual Private Cloud. Click on VPCs. You can see it's so small. This is the VPC we have recently. We have selected. So it has some subnets. Which next, scroll down a little bit. Don't need to change. Press on next. Next, after this, some other optional configurations like root volume type. You can select whatever, and EC2 instance. You can select this default option, default role option. You can check for the security groups. First, we can make a change in these security groups. So I'm going to this and I'm going to search for some security groups. Security groups. I think this security groups, yes, it is in the EC2 security groups. Here we have the security group. In the security group, we need to go for the inbound roles. In this inbound role, we need to edit this inbound role. First, we need to select this inbound role. And edit inbound rules. Here in this inbound rule, I need to go for this thing. And first of all, I need to select for the traffic. I'm going to select the traffic, like for example, HTTP. Sorry, sorry. Actually, I'm changing for this existing group. it should be fault, I think so. All traffic. So it is all traffic and add rule. In this add rule, I'm going for HTTP and I'm going with this. Okay, done. So this is how do I do. Next, I need to save the rule. Save rules. Yes. No inbound rule is created. Good. Now I can go for this thing. We have created an inbound rule. Next, single instance is enough. And scroll down a bit. Leave as it is at default. Don't need to change anything. And add AMI ID will be proceeded as a default itself. Don't need to change this thing. Okay. I'm going to click on next. So just I'm going for the I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, don't need to change. Just I'm going to provide my email address alone. Yes, good. Don't need to change any of this. And you can press on this next button. So lastly we came to the review, but since still we have this access role, why it is not showing me key? I can't understand. Can't understand how why it is not showing me key. Okay. Once again, I'm going to delete my key and I'm going to create a new key pair. I think because of this key is still on this. Still, it is easy to key pair is very much important. But for me, why it is not showing, I don't know. we have this keeper created. Let me check for this. Why my keeper doesn't show in Beanstalk AWS? If your keeper doesn't appear in AWS Elastic, then likely because you haven't explicitly selected it. When created or configured Beanstalk environment, you need to choose an existing keeper to associate it with your Beanstalk instance to access the AI services. The SSS was AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Right click the instance shows messages. I don't know why it is not showing. If your keeper isn't appearing in AWS Beanstalk, it's likely because you haven't explicitly selected when creating or configuring a Beanstalk environment. Explicitly selected. What do you mean by this explicitly selected? It doesn't show here. You need to choose an existing EC2 keeper to associate it with your Beanstalk instance to access the. Okay. Create a keeper. Once again, I'm going to create a keeper. Info harvest. Info harvest key. And it needs to be a .pem file. For use with the OpenSSH, this is what I have selected, but why it doesn't show? I know I can't understand why it is not showing. Create keeper. The second PEM file is the downloaded. Click on this. Still, it's not showing. Still, it's not showing the keeper. So one of the important thing is the keeper, but still the keeper is not showing. So what is the problem with this? This keeper, I can't understand. So what is the ongoing problem with this keeper? Keeper has 2 of 1. Okay. So yes, this is the problem I got. So the keeper that I have created a CV, I have rolled over it for some time. Now I got the solution here in the Google. Like for example, in correct region, ensure that you are looking for your keeper in the correct region that where your Beanstalk environment is located. So here you can see my instance of EC2 is in Sydney, but my Beanstalk is created in the Mumbai. That's why I think incorrect regions lead to this. Now I'm going to change this region to Mumbai. God, Mumbai. So I can't create this in this that are enabled for this account. These 13 regions are not enabled for this account. Come on. So Mumbai is not here. So Sydney is given over here, but Mumbai is not over here. I thought I can go for this Mumbai. Where is Mumbai? Asia Pacific, Tokyo, Asia Pacific. Yes, I got here Mumbai. Yes, done. Super good. Now we have this keeper. No keeper in this region. Once again, which means I have created that keeper for that particular region, which will not be shown over here. Okay, good. Now I'm going for the same Sydney and I'm going to delete the region over there. You can create a server. So it can't be reached. Why? Sydney is good. Now I have this keypad. I'm going to delete this keypad right now. Delete and I'm going to delete this keypad here. So and I'm going to create the keypad in the Mumbai region. Good. I'm going to change this for Pacific Asia Pacific Mumbai. And I'm going to create a new keypad. For this, I'm going to provide a name called what is happening. Info harvest icon. Sorry, info harvest key. Info harvest key dot type. So before that, I have already downloaded some of the PEM type files earlier before. I need to delete all those files before getting into this. So here I have got this PEM file. I'm going to delete this PEM file. Good. rsa.pem info harvest key. Create keypad. Now the keypad is successfully created. God, thank you. Wallahi. Okay, now I can check for this. Yes, done with this, guys. Done with this successfully. Next. Leave as it is. Don't need to change over here. Default groups. Next, because of since we have created other things in the instance enhanced manner, just an email address. Lastly, we can go for next. Lastly, we can go for the deployment. Go to the review. We can review all these things: info harvest icon server, zip file. Okay, good, and we can submit. On the meanwhile, I have searched this why my keypad doesn't show in Beanstalk AWS, and I got the solution in incorrect regions. Thank you for this. And I have checked this. When you submit this, it will take some time, almost 5 minutes of time. It will take 5 minutes of time to review and check this and submit this. Yes. Now launching this will take some few minutes. We will wait for some time. Yes, good. Now we got this environment launched successfully. Environment launched successfully, but the health condition is still pending. We can wait for some time. What is the error? Group scaling doesn't exist a stack. Launch environment info hours. Here we have the issue launch during launch server event log. So we got some health conditions pending. Okay, I need to launch template. Create stage failed. Okay, good to go. Good to go. Health is still bending. We can check for new logs. No new logs. Once again, we can refresh this entire thing. And also, we need to configure the CA/CD for this too. Okay, so it can't be reached. You can control E. Control C. Okay, good. We got this instance uploaded on my server, uploaded on my AWS. I hope you people got some knowledge. We can solve these, or else we can make this in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.